So we're live doing a quick impromptu uh, video for Plant versus Benavidez. It's going to be on Showtime pay-per-view this Saturday, which is March 25th. We'll talk about it in one moment.
Unbelievable! You want to throw sometime? Bang! Oh, my God!
This is a lot of
Okay, Chip. 7 rounds to 2.
Well, good morning, everybody. Just wanted to do a quick impromptu, give my thoughts on the upcoming fight on Saturday. It's a pretty big fight. It's going to be at MGM Grand Arena in my adopted home of Las Vegas, Nevada. It's a big fight between Caleb Plant and David Benavidez. Let me tell you a little bit about the fighters. David Benavidez, I believe he's 26 years old. He's 26-0 with 23 KOs. Big knockout puncher against Caleb Plant, who is, I think he's about 23-1 with roughly 13 knockouts. His lone loss is to 168-pound world champion Canelo Alvarez. Both fighters are fighting for the WBC interim 168-pound championship, with the winner likely a future opponent for Canelo Alvarez. My thoughts here, a lot of people are picking Benavidez, obviously because, you know, he's naturally bigger, he's stronger, he's a bigger puncher, he's got a great engine, hand speed, and it's a classic matchup of styles. Caleb Plant, he is the fighter that's got a box off of the back foot, uses wheels or his legs, as some would like to say, to stay out of harm's way of the big punching Benavidez. So that being said, my thoughts here, ways for each guy to win. Pretty much Caleb Plant is going to, I wouldn't say he's going to need a miracle, but he's going to have to stay out of harm's way for 12 rounds and somehow try to outbox David Benavidez for 3 minutes of every round. And I think kind of what a lot of people are looking at is some of Caleb Plant's fights, even the one against Canelo, he faded down the stretch. Even in his title-winning effort, he was a former IBF 168-pound champion. He won that vacant title against Jose Uzcategui. Actually, I don't think it was a vacant. I think Uzcategui had the title, and it was his first title defense. And Caleb Plant was very impressive, dropping him twice, I believe, in the third round, and won a unanimous decision. But he did fade down the stretch. He had some trouble against Uzcategui. And David Benavidez is a bigger, stronger, more with more boxing savvy version of Uzcategui. And also one of the main factors in this fight that I'm looking at is Caleb Plant, I believe, is 32 years old, and David Benavidez is 26. He won his first world title at the age of 21. So while he is quite a bit younger, he does have more fights. He has more experience. He comes from a fighting family. His brother, I believe his brother's Jesse Benavidez or Jose Benavidez Jr. is a former contender at 140 pounds and 147 pounds, and his father trains him. He's got the better boxing pedigree, I think, coming into this fight. So that's something to look at. You know, he's a younger fighter. He's probably a little bit more hungry because he's trying to get that Canelo fight. And Plant has already fought Canelo, so he's kind of he got the big fight that he already wanted. Is he going to have the hunger to defeat this young lion? He's got great boxing skills, but one thing about Benavidez that I like is people kind of maybe look at him because he has a lot of knockouts, that he's just some knockout slugger, but he sets up the big punches with his combinations, with his body shots, with his jab, which to me is the most important part of actually his defense, which he's not known for defense, but his jab is his defense. His jab keeps his opponents at a range where they can't really catch him with too many counter punches. But one thing I am noticing from this fight is Plant is a natural 168 pounder, and that might give David Benavidez some problems early because some of his last few opponents have been natural 160 pounders moving up, and he's really been able to bully them. I don't know if he's going to be able to do that necessarily to Plant in the first few rounds, but I do see the approach from Benavidez being a little bit more cautious in the first few rounds, probably not really giving Plant too many opportunities, maybe going into a high guard defense when he's moving forward behind that jab, not really throwing as many punches as you're normally going to see him punch in the first few rounds. But I think he's going to use that kind of earmuff defense to close the gap because Plant is not a good inside fighter, or at least he's not somebody that's known to really grind away on the inside. You know, he's got some decent counter-punching skills, but most of that kind of comes from, you know, that shoulder roll style that he's kind of trying to implement, which in my mind could be a detriment in this fight because he keeps that left hand, his jab hand low, and he's going to be open for a lot of punches. And I think what's going to happen in this fight is he's going to start miscalculating the distance because David Benavidez, he's tall, he's rangy, and he knows how to close the distance and fight. He can fight it good on the inside. He can fight good at mid-range and from far away. And I think sometimes when, you know, Caleb Plant is going to try to counter him, I think he's going to get countered and realize that, and some people say don't counter the counterpuncher, but these are the kind of things I think that David Benavidez is going to try to take advantage of because he knows that Caleb Plant is going to be looking for counters. And I think he's going to pick up as the fight goes on when Caleb Plant is going to try to throw those counter shots, and he's going to throw with them, and I think he's going to catch him. I can see this being I could see Caleb Plant going the distance, but I think if Caleb Plant goes the distance, it's more going to be like a survival type of fight where he's smart enough, he's experienced enough to make it the 12 rounds. But I think Benavidez is going to go there really, but I think he's going to go in there smart. But once he sees a weakness in his opponent, he's very good at exploiting it. So I'm going to go for, and I hate to go with what everybody's going with because I was on Ring Magazine earlier today. I like to read different people's perspectives. Out of 21 trainers, sports writers, and different people involved in the boxing business who were interviewed, out of the 21, 20 of them all had it for Benavidez. Most of them had him winning by stoppage, and then one was undecided. So doesn't look like too many people are picking Caleb Plant or giving him much of a chance. But in the odds makers have it Benavidez is a 3-1 favorite. They got Plant as a plus 240, so that's roughly a little bit more than a 2-1 underdog. I think those odds are pretty fair. But I can't find too many people who are picking Caleb Plant to win. The only couple of people I've seen, you know, that are picking him seem to be people that are probably, you know, friends with Caleb Plant because it just doesn't appear that any experts are picking Caleb Plant at this point. And that kind of worries me a little bit just for Benavidez because the expectations for him to win impressively are so high, and anything less than that is going to be a negative, you know, when the expectations are that high. So that being said, I just wanted to give a quick impromptu prediction. I got David Benavidez in this Saturday's fight. I got him winning by a late stoppage, and I think that's kind of the consensus in the boxing community. So thanks. Quick impromptu video, KO Nation podcast, impromptu video. You can catch me, Kevin Perry, at Vegas Valley Video. That's my handle on Instagram.
Unbelievable! You want to throw sometime? Bang!